Hi all, Khaled Keshta is here. Today I'm going to tell you how to improve your diet, especially in the current situation where we just passed the festive period, Christmas and New Year's, and we are in a lockdown. So gyms are closed, a lot of people are struggling to work out. So there's only one thing that we can control, and it is our diet. So in this video, I'm going to give you the most important tips to improve your diet, to be healthier and to get in shape. Tip number one, drink more water. I know that you've heard that a lot. I'm not sure if you're doing it, but trust me, it is one of the most important ways of getting healthier, because your body, whether you have diabetes or not, loves being hydrated. If you remember, before we get diagnosed, we were very thirsty, or when we are hyperglycemic, high in blood sugar, we are very thirsty. What happens is that the water that we drink takes the blood sugar from the bloodstream and flushes it out. So it's very important for us people with diabetes to be hydrated all the time. Apart from diabetes, putting diabetes aside, your kidney, your liver, all your organs, they want water. Our body is made of over 60% water, so let's give it what it needs. So drink at least 2 liters of water a day. Tip number 2, reduce or eliminate all junk food. So what are junk foods? Junk foods are the fast foods that we get, such as pizza, fried chickens, burgers, and so on. These foods are full of saturated fats, the fats that we don't want in our body, and full of bad cholesterol as well, like the LDL. We don't want that in our body. We want the other type. So if you can eliminate it, do it. If you can't, then start reducing it. Instead of having 4 or 5 junk meals a week, have 3, and then have 2, and then have 1, and then try to eliminate it fully. Another benefit from eliminating junk food is that you're gonna be dropping your calories massively. Junk foods are very, very calorie dense. So if you look at the overall calorie expenditure during the week, day, month, you're gonna find that dropping the junk food is gonna help a lot when losing weight. Tip number 3, reduce or eliminate refined sugars. So what are refined sugars? They're sugars that are found in chocolates, cakes, candy, stuff like that. These are not useful sources of carbohydrates. So carbohydrates is not our enemy at all. We need carbohydrates. I consume a lot of carbohydrates, but you have to choose the right type. So refined sugars, what they do is that they are what you call simple carbs. So they are very, very fast when it comes to digestion in the body. And providing that you're not gonna have a candy and then run 2 miles, that energy needs to go somewhere. So remember, when we eat something, especially if it's glucose, sugar, refined sugar, it gets broken down in our body into glucose. This glucose needs to be stored somewhere. So if the process is fast, then it's going to be stored in the body in the form of either muscle glycogen or fat. And most likely it is going to be fat because we're not active. So it's very important to eliminate these from your diet. Tip number 4, reduce or eliminate fatty content. Right, so we have good fats and we have bad fats. But overall, for us people with diabetes or pre-diabetics or anyone that cares about insulin resistance is caused when we have a lot of fat stored in our body, in our cells. This causes a delay in the action of insulin, or it doesn't allow the body to be able to use the insulin efficiently, which causes insulin resistance in the end. So what causes that? Obviously consuming fat, or consuming any foods that will result in storing fat, such as the refined sugars that I just mentioned. So reduce your overall fat content. If you're using, let's say, normal oil, start using olive oil and cut the amount by half. If you like having butter, for example, again, find a healthy alternative for it. You can still have good fats, like fats in the fish or avocado, for example, but again, to a certain degree. You don't want to overdo it. So tip number 5, which is the last elimination we have in the list, is eliminate or reduce processed food. What are processed foods? Processed foods are the foods that are not in their original source or form. So for example, you have a specific type of food. What happens is that they take some elements from it and then add other elements. And in most cases, what they take from that food is the vitamins and the minerals, which are healthy stuff that our body needs, and they add sugar and salt. So it's a no-brainer to try to reduce or even eliminate these kind of foods. What are these foods? All the junk foods that I just mentioned, pizza, burgers, and all that, but add to it as well donuts, cookies, cakes, stuff that has no benefit whatsoever to the body. So now you probably hate me and you think that I don't want you to eat anything. Now let me tell you the list of the stuff that I want you to eat. You know that there are a lot of options out there. So first thing that I want you to consume a lot is fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables, in most cases, they are carbohydrates. And as I said, carbohydrates is never our enemy. In fact, we need carbohydrates. We need that for our energy levels. We need it to actually control our blood sugar levels. Imagine if you're going a zero carb diet, if you go hypoglycemic, you're gonna end up having one of the refined sugars I just mentioned. So it's better not to get there from the start. So what's good about fruit and veg, whether you have diabetes or not, it's full of minerals, full of vitamins, full of antioxidants, full of water. And on top of that, a lot, not all, but a lot of fruits, they are complex carbs. Complex carbs means that they get digested slowly in the body. This allows the body to take the minerals and the vitamins, allow enough time for the body to take them from them, and also it gives us a constant energy level and it doesn't cause any sugar spikes. So if you think about it, if you have something with a high glycemic index that let's say a fizzy drink or Lucozade, for example, once you have a Lucozade, straight away your blood sugar is gonna spike. That's why we use something like Lucozade to treat our hypoglycemia. That doesn't happen with vegetables, fruits, and food generally that is rich in fibers. I'm gonna get through that in a bit. So have a lot of fruit and veg. Number 2, have a lot of whole grain food. So as I just mentioned, it's very important to have foods that are very slow in digestion in the body to provide us with a good energy level, a good stable, constant energy level. Because otherwise, if you have fast-acting carbs, as I just mentioned, you're gonna have a lot of energy, but only for a small period of time, and then you're gonna have a sugar crash. So very important to have whole grain foods. Not just for that, it's for the fiber content inside as well. Fiber helps you in digesting the food actually. What are whole grain foods? Oats, brown bread, wheat, any kind of wheat, quinoa, and a lot of others out there. Number 3, and my favorite being a bodybuilder, is protein. Have a lot of protein, whether it's plant-based or animal-based. Protein is the main source of food that helps in recovery and growth of our tissues. So if you don't have it, your body is not gonna, if you are doing an activity, your body is not gonna recover from it. Your body is not gonna grow through it. So protein also helps with your metabolism. So if you have more protein, your metabolism improves. Hence you get to lose weight. And also in terms of calories, 1 gram of protein has got 4 calories, just like carbs. Fats, 1 gram of fat has got 9 calories. So if you think about it, having a lot of protein isn't very calorie dense as having a lot of fat. It's just as good as having carbs. So you have to have a balanced diet. I'm not telling you to eliminate the carbs completely and have a lot of protein. No, you have to have a balanced diet that contains all of them. Now, if you are rooting for animal-based proteins, then always choose the low-fat versions. So go for white fish, tuna, chicken breasts, eggs. Eggs does contain fat, but it does contain protein as well. Try to steer away from meat that is full of saturated fats, because as I mentioned, it's very important to get rid of these. You can have any plant-based protein that you need, but if you are a vegan or a vegetarian, you have to make sure that you're hitting your protein target. So I am confident to tell you that all the tips that I mentioned applies to everyone, unless you have a medical condition that doesn't allow you to have a specific food or to eliminate a specific food. Any diet plan out there will contain exactly what I mentioned. So start changing today. Do small changes. I'm not telling you to go all in and eliminate all the foods that I don't want you to have. And no, I want you to do it slowly, enjoy it, make it your lifestyle. And that will definitely help you get in shape and get healthier. See you later.